Now welcome to another Let's Talk Some Bad Batch, where this time it is episode 14 of Season 3, also known as Flash Strike. And as usual, we will be discussing the episode by reading and responding to some of the comments left on my review on the other channel. But before we do that, let's get to your ever so brief review of the episode.
I was having a great time watching it. I feel like it was a little too short. I feel like they could have just combined maybe the last one with a piece of this one. I don't know.
It feels like the last three could have been one big episode.
Yeah.
The whole breaking Rampart out and figuring out what to do with him, and
I can't see how they're going to wrap this up if they keep to their 22-minute timelines here.
I don't see how you could wrap this all up in 122 minutes, much less 22 minutes, but
yeah.
We'll see what the length is of the final episode. I had heard a leak or rumor that it wasn't any longer than kind of your standard episode, so
that's a little disappointing because I was hoping for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
we'll see what they do, right?
Yeah, that is not 100%. My sources are not always the greatest, but that is what I've heard, so we shall see. All right, so why don't we right away get to some comments, huh?
Top comment is from Bowen Horn. I love that Hemlock is actually a pretty competent villain. When he hears about the Bad Batch possibly being on their way, he has fighters keep an eye out for them. When their shuttle is shot down, he has crews search the jungle crash site and the science shuttle they rode in on. Just simple things like that go so far in making the Empire seem like a real threat. Yep.
Yeah.
A competent villain goes a long way.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, they injected some common sense in there.
It's all it takes is a little above average intelligence to be a genius within the ranks of the Empire, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying Hemlock is only above average. He's obviously a smart dude, but sometimes they're just so dumb or just miss the obvious that it's refreshing when he's like, oh, yeah, what if we launch some ships and keep an eye out? And
I mean, that was just competent. Well, we got news that the Bad Batch was on the vessel, on the station that the science vessel came from. He's like, well, let's obviously keep an eye out for them. Were there on accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some comments that kind of were like this one that mentioned that he seems more competent than a certain blue-skinned Imperial officer that we've seen. Yeah. But let's not get into that. Let's move on to the next comment.
Next comment is from Derek Lopez. I get the feeling that Omega will probably release the Zillo beast and it'll wreak havoc in the facility. There's only one episode left and we still have no idea who that assassin is.
Yeah, I think the Zillo beast or Xylo beast, we pronounce it both ways around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Han and Han,
Han, Han.
That's how it goes.
Exactly. But I do think there's a 100% guarantee the Zillo beast is going to run amok this final episode.
As for having no idea who the assassin is, maybe the assassin really is just
it's
an
assassin.
Yeah,
it's Assassin X.
Which I'm okay with. Not everybody needs to be somebody, but I do really want to see the fate of some of our key clones here.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this episode coming up is called The Cavalry, which I assume means the cavalry will come to their aid, meaning the other clones.
Rex and the boys, as we like to call it, yeah. Though it could just be that they are the cavalry. Hey, or maybe the Zillo beast is the cavalry.
Everyone was predicting that this would be the episode that we'd see Fennec Shan come back because her character, Ming-Na Wen's character was the cavalry on
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Yeah. But we already saw her, and she filled the role nicely this season, along with Bane and some of the other characters they brought back. That they weren't like, oh, we had to make a big deal. They just kind of filled their role.
Scene stealing or show stealing. They were just, here's what we did, and except for of course, Ventress. She's just a huge question mark that needs an answer. Yeah,
and I think, and I kind of did some speculation on the other channel. I think Ventress at the very end, Omega takes the Force-sensitive kids to Ventress. That's my prediction.
Be nice.
That's how this thing ends. And we're left to believe that they will go and find their way in the galaxy together and start a new show together. Ta-da!
The Path.
Yes, that's what I'm holding to it until Lucasfilm says otherwise.
Next comment from Killer B. Rampart screaming his lungs out at the goofy Bad Batch things that we're used to was the highlight for me. Goes to show we're so used to these characters performing incredible stunts, and then we see this officer guy scream his heart out at the prospect of dropping down a rope.
Hey, I'd be screaming. I would be like, you gotta be... I'd rather just take my chances.
Especially when they're like, don't hit a tree.
Then it's a jungle. You're gonna hit a tree.
Yes.
That's like saying, don't hit the sand as you drop onto the beach or onto Tatooine. And, Anakin's going to be mad about that. But you're going to hit a tree. It's one of those times where it's if you tried that in real life, like, you're just going to die. You're going to slam in a tree at, like, 100 miles per hour.
Nothing you've trained for, yeah.
Even if you train for that, like, you're just going to hit a tree and die. But I did enjoy Rampart being like, you got to be crazy.
Just like I liked it later when they're all like, we're not going to shoot at the monster, and Hunter pulls his knife out. Rampart's like, are you crazy? We don't want to alert the troops that we're here. Well, your death, it's crunching bones, or its growls won't?
Yeah. I did like that too.
Rampart.
Like, we don't want to... Hey, he had a point there. Like, you're either going to get eaten by this thing if you try to fend it off with a knife, or you're going to shoot and take your odds or chances with the troopers, which you've defeated how many troopers before? Come on now. But no, good stuff out of Rampart yet again.
Yeah. He was comic relief without being over the top, which is
without
perfection, chef's kiss moments.
Yes, without being the intentional funny, he was funny. And that's the kind of Star Wars humor I like.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Next comment is from Private BH. The show has definitely hit its stride. Really appreciate Echo getting some love. It's very entertaining when they let each member thrive with their skill set. I'm scared the show will end in the cloned conclusion will never be told. The show had a huge opportunity to dive into a post-Order 66 and how the characters reacted, but they've barely touched it for a much less interesting story. Hopefully the next show touches that.
I almost get the feeling the original plan was for this show to go a little longer. Because if you look at season 2, it seems to be setting up with Chuchi and the Senate. You have that whole 2-part episode where they're really kind of going into what happens to the clones, what do we do with them? And that really has not been touched on at all in season 3. Like, Chuchi shows up
season 1, they started setting up the post-Order 66 world. Here's where the clones are kind of fitting in. Here's what the Emperor's new project is. Look, here's chain codes, and here's some of the rules of the new post-Republic society. But they've just dropped that in the tail of we're following these characters much more closely now.
Which I'm fine with. And I think after season 2 or whenever they were going to start doing season 3, they realized like they wanted to wrap up the story of the Bad Batch, but maybe they wanted to still touch on these things they've been alluding to, which is why I think the next show will kind of be shortly after this one and still involve some clones. Like, the Path can certainly involve some clones, because it feels like there's so much they kind of alluded to that has just been dropped.
I agree.
And they just like, well, I think we're done with the Bad Batch story, but we still want to do this other part of, or these other things we've brought into the picture. And so you end the Bad Batch story, and then you kind of start a new one and carry on some of the loose threads that they never went back to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
You always make sense.
Wow, that is the nicest thing. Then you laugh like that.
Sorry.
No, I mean...
I'm still in a mood.
Yeah, I'm just having fun, because we love doing this.
We do.
Yeah, for those who didn't see the video yesterday, like, our channel has been demonetized, so...
We're still making content.
Oh, yeah, because we love to talk Star Wars, and we love the people who love to talk Star Wars with us.
You can always join our Patreon and talk to us on the Discord channel as well, and our weekly voice chats are on Thursdays. No coincidence. It's because then you have watched the new show, and
it gives you a full 2 days.
Talk about it.
Yeah, because we always talk about the shows,
and then we branch on to talking about literally everything else.
Yes, the universe,
guilty pleasure movies, all the fun stuff.
Cheese, everything will be covered on the Thursday Night Talks. But for now, let's get to that next comment.
All right, we've got a comment from Jim Rett. I think Echo is your unceremonious death guy. I feel like he gets to the vault only to be shot in the back by Scorch or Hemlock.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've been calling for it the whole time.
Echo's my favorite Bad Batcher.
Because
he's
Echo.
Most like a regular clone.
That's kind of sad, because he's kind of been through some stuff.
I have a really soft spot for ARC Troopers.
You love ARC Troopers.
I absolutely am in love with ARC Troopers.
Yes, you have a... Sometimes I feel a little jealous how much you love ARC Troopers.
I love them a lot.
Yeah. Let's move on from that, though, because now I am getting jealous. So. But no, I have been predicting, or kind of calling for, I don't know if it's even prediction.
I mean, with him being the newest, you could say, aside from Omega, member of the Bad Batch, the least Bad Batchest of them all.
Yeah, he's not like
he's not an OG Bad Batcher. Maybe he would get the unceremonious death, which is sad. I don't know. Unceremonious, I think all their deaths are going to mean something.
I mean,
for all we know, he's the distraction that allows the kids to all go climbing up the tubes. Who knows?
That could be it. I just think sometimes you need to, every now and then, have a clone die, or not a clone, a character just in general die, because it just kind of reminds you, like, yeah, bad things happen. SHIT happens. Yeah, I'm not gonna swear.
We're not monetized. You can swear all you want.
That's a good point. You know what? Shit happens.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, I think we got one more comment after that liveliness.
Last comment then is from Gold Searcher. Just hope the series finale is as long as Rebels finale, or as long as the Bad Batch series premiere episode.
I hope it's like a good hour.
I would love to see a longer episode.
Yeah.
I would love them to announce in advance how long the episode will be, because I have to wake up to watch these before work, and if I don't allot myself enough time, I don't get to watch it.
Yeah. You should just
sad.
call in sick. Big
Not
day.
just gonna call in sick.
But yeah, I hope we get to hear a runtime beforehand, so
nice.
you can adjust, because I do love watching them with you, and that's just one of our things. We got a lot of things though. So.
Yeah. Well, at least the Acolyte's one of those nighttime ones, so we can watch
I think
it.
so. Have they confirmed it's?
I thought it was confirmed that it was a nighttime
Okay.
release, because it was like a primetime live action type thing.
Which means I will be watching it and then doing my review on the other channel like that night, and then
going to bed whenever you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, in the wee hours. But that's fine.
Is it?
Not for you. You get lonely up there all by yourself.
Yeah, because the cats will stay down here with you, which is really sad.
They wait till I go to bed.
Traitors.
Yeah, they are. They're looking at you right now like, what? Anyway, but yeah, I do hope this is a long episode and we get a conclusion to the series
finale,
right?
deserves the length. It deserves the bells and whistles. This has been a 3-year investment for
a journey.
us watching it. So I want them to give it the pomp and circumstance it deserves. I want them to give it the time to slow down, to give us those emotions, to show us what the culmination of all of this is.
Yeah, I mean, if a couple characters are going to die, which may or may not happen, we don't know. But to cram that into like a 20-minute episode would feel so cheap, wouldn't it? And then just one after another, you'd just be hit with one. You couldn't even grieve for a moment before Echo just gets trounced by the Zillo beast or something.
You're done.
But yeah, I'm hoping I have heard wrong or my information is wrong and that this is going to be a long episode. But for now, that is going to be all we have for this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of this episode of The Bad Batch and tell us how you think it is going to end next week. Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.